True Man, The Max Immortal, Rick Veitch, volume number 3. And here's some scans for you. I'm hoping that Rick will be okay with me pulling a few pages out of his book. I'm sure he will be. First page, the dedication at at the bottom there. One dot 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 100 dot 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 joke dot 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 pages dot 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 please dot 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 to go dot 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 v. Always nice to get something like this at the Off White House for the Cerebus Archive, because there's not a lot of guys that know what he's talking about, but I know what he's talking about. 100 pages to go. You can look back at, I'm most of the way through. It is only 100 pages, but it's still 100 pages at my age. Photorealism. It's interesting because Rick has definitely gone full bore into photorealism on True Man, The Max Immortal, doing actual famous people. And I got to tell you, as somebody that does this myself on a fairly regular basis, it's not easy to do, and it's a hit and miss proposition where when you get it done, it's either capital H hit, small h hit, small h hit in quotation marks, miss, capital M miss. You get the idea. It's you know pretty much where you are, and it's happenstance in a lot of ways, like working on the specific line, the specific shadow, and I think Rick's working digitally, almost entirely digitally. So it's like, well, okay, you do have the advantage that you can enlarge Elvis Presley's face, the photograph, and trace it. And then if you don't like the line, you can just delete it and replace it, delete it and replace it, delete it and replace it. But you still end up with, at some point, you just got to call it a day and go, I think that's the best that this one's going to be. And, I'm going to call this a capital W win, a small w win, or win in quotation marks. I got to say, having tried a couple of times to draw Elvis Presley from traced photographs, these are pretty good. It's, again, hit or miss. And congratulations to Rick on that. The next one that I got, that I'm going to get Rolly to do a scan of, is page 107. And these are the sort of jarring contrasts that Rick has throughout Max Immortal, where you're going, wait a minute, is that Jack Kirby? That looks like Jack Kirby, and that's definitely Frank Zappa. It's one of those things that if you're looking for job satisfaction, and you're as Rick Veitch is a huge Jack Kirby fan and a huge Frank Zappa fan, coming to the end of this day would have been, how about that? It really looks like Jack Kirby and Frank Zappa at a barbecue. I mean, Rick's son's name is Kirby, so you know that it's a big deal for him, and this was This would be one of those pages where you'd come to the end and you'd go, wow, nailed it. Or I hope he did. I hope he's not sitting there going, oh, don't show that one. That one didn't come out very good. No, speaking as a photorealist, Rick, that one, you get a gold star in your notebook on that one. The next one that I'm going to get Rory to scan, page 112. And this is Hunter S. Thompson in a, what is it? It's, big block Chevy. Right, big block Chevy, riding across the desert, Hunter S. Thompson, and you just know the odometer. Rick went to the trouble to. You can do it now. You go online and you go, okay, show me what the odometer on a big block Chevy from the 1970s looked like. And it's like, well, there it is. Okay, now you got to actually draw it or at least digitally manipulate it so that it looks like a, Al Williamson did it, let us say. And then, okay, how much space does it need to take up? Okay, first panel establishing shot all the way across the whole top of the page. Now, when I shrink it down for the pullback, how much of it is still going to be visible? And it's like, it sounds like an easy question until you're actually doing it on the page and going, looks okay, but it doesn't look like Al Williamson did it. And so some of those lines are a little too close together. Obviously, all the zeros on the odometer are the same size, but try doing that across, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. That's a lot of zeros to get matching up. And guys like us who do this for a living, it's like you look at it very critically and go, okay, it's not perfect, but boy, it passes muster with me as an establishing shot. And then, the pullback and very good reflection on the trunk there of this is what Hunter S. Thompson, if he's being lit by a brilliant desert sun, this is what his shadow is going to look like on the trunk. If you don't do it for a living, you're not going to notice that. You're just going to go, oh, okay, all right. It's just like it says in the caption here. It's a big block Chevy, and all right, now I just want to read the captions and find out what's going on. And it's like, well, you're missing half the fun, kids. Look at what it takes to get something to look photorealistic. And Hunter S. Thompson, of course, is a living caricature anyway. So it's that's certainly not as difficult as doing Jack Kirby or Elvis Presley, but very good Hunter S. Thompson as well here on page 112. And skipping through, what's the next one that I marked? Pages 140 and 139 and 138, Howard Cosell interviewing Muhammad Ali. So, Rick Veitch is a baby boomer, and you know that I'm a baby boomer. And if you're a baby boomer too, this is exactly the sort of thing you're going to want in your comics. And I got to tell you, I've never tried drawing Muhammad Ali, having looked at the amount of trouble that Neil Adams had with Muhammad Ali on Superman Muhammad Ali, the Treasury book. Um, it's not something I would go, hey, I'm not doing anything this afternoon for a couple of hours. Let's try tracing a photo of Muhammad Ali and making it look like Muhammad Ali. So major brownie points for Rick. That the interesting thing about Muhammad Ali is the "I'm so pretty" thing. Of That's a very unusual thing to have in a heavyweight boxer. I'm so pretty, and he was. He was a very pretty guy. He was a very pretty black man, um, which is not usually a an adjective that you associate with a black man. So that's the problem. Is if you get the picture of Muhammad Ali done, and it doesn't look pretty the way Muhammad Ali looked pretty in the 1970s, um, then you had a certain amount of success, but it's not a capital W win. But I will say, in Rick's defense, the first one, and here I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, I hadn't marked the pages, so I wanted to do that now before I left it out the back, so that I didn't forget later on. Uh, the first panel on 138, which is the last panel on 138, but it's the first one with Muhammad Ali. Um, Definitely, I'm so pretty, and you nailed it, Rick. And same thing I would say with the last picture of Muhammad Ali, which is on page 140, is also "I'm so pretty." And I got to tell you, no higher praise than this. You had at least the same uh, success percentage on your Muhammad Ali's that Neil Adams did on Superman Muhammad Ali. And that's not something I would say if I didn't actually think that. Okay, and then the next page. This one was as I say, there's hit or miss, and it's very seldom that you get a capital H hit. Um, it's luck of the draw kind of thing. Didn't know that one was going to turn out that good, but I'm really pleased that it did, and I wish all of them were like this. This one is Camp David, Maryland, August 12th, 1974, and it's President Gerald Ford playing catch with with Dick Cheney. This is one of those things that obviously amuses Rick and amuses me when I read it. Yeah, how many people remember that Dick Cheney was Gerald Ford's chief of staff when Gerald Ford was president? And it's a pretty good likeness on the 1974 Dick Cheney, but the one of Gerald Ford throwing the football, the panel two on 141, it's like that one just stopped me dead in my tracks and went, wow, if we could just make every panel like that. It looks like Gerald Ford. He looks like he's throwing the football. The shadows are all in the right place. It doesn't look like it's labored over. Uh, those are the ones that you get it done and you go, all right, every time that I went, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this. Every time you get one of these, it keeps you bringing you back to the plate to swing the bat and go, okay, this time I'm going to connect. Okay, and the next one that I had marked was, okay, and then we have Rick's text pages for this issue. So I'm scanning those, both of those, because this is extremely relevant to the letter that I wrote to Robin Snyder at the comics about Bob Kanigher's The Metal Men and Sergeant Rock of Easy Company, and the bad experience that he had. That really ended badly for how much time he put in and how much money he made for DC on both of those titles. And as I said at the end of the letter to Robin Snyder, have you thought about contacting DC and saying, I've got Robert Kanigher's outlines for the last Sergeant Rock story, and I have Robert Kanigher's Farewell to the Metal Men. Are you interested? And it's like, I'm going, if they're gonna track down Rick Veitch and say, are you willing to finish the Swamp Thing meets Jesus storyline? I think they're probably open to just about anything at this point. And having read the Robert Kanigher last Metal Men story, I think that'd be a great thing for DC. I mean, my personal preference would be how much of Andrew and Esposito's original artwork from the Metal Men still exists, and how much would that cover? Each of those shots, flopping them and enlarging them and reducing them, so that you could go, okay, it's just as if Andrew and Esposito drew the last Metal Man story. You could do some dressing up of it if you want, and go, well, yeah, but I draw better than Andrew and Esposito. I'm cooler than Andrew and Esposito. Yeah, but Andrew and Esposito are the Metal Men art team, hands down. So that would be my preference as a reader if somebody was going to go ahead and do it, is find somebody who can riff on Andrew and Esposito, jazz it up a little bit, but make sure that every page that they're reading the last Metal Man story, they're going, wow, it's just as if I'm right back in 1966, 1967, and reading the Metal Man, and it's the last Metal Man story. Okay, there you go. That's Rick Veitch's True Man the Maximortal, number 3. Stay with me now, Rick. 100 pages to go. Okay. All right, big guy. We're down to 99. Well, no, we're not quite down to 99. But you're close. You're almost there. Just stay with me. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. Okay. So there you go. This will be emailed to everybody. Robin Snyder, Rick Veitch, A Moment of Cerebus, and everybody is free to relay it after that. Here's what Dave Sim had to say about this.